I'm Nate Atwell. Non-binary, they, them. I'm not particularly concerned about pronouns. I still present fairly masked, so.
How old are you and where do you live?
I'm 27 and I live in Northeast.
And so why are you participating in today's event?
I'm participating today because I'm participating in No Justice, No Pride because for too long gay people, women, trans people have been used as pawns by the military industrial complex, by police, by prisons, by corporations. All these institutions are ones that hurt and murder LGBTQ people. And they're doing this homo-nationalist pink-washing thing where they use our bodies and our gender expressions and our sexualities and our love to justify war, to justify increased surveillance on vulnerable communities, to justify arrest, to justify violence, and I'm not at all for that. I'm violently opposed to it.
And can you briefly tell me how you came to identify as LGBT?
I don't know when did it start. When I was little, I always knew there was different things. So I had like long hair in 4th grade, and like being prepubescent, that made me look like a girl. And there was one boy who had a crush on me, thinking he was a girl, but instead of like telling him or letting him know, I just let it happen, let it go on as long as it could. And eventually, I found out he was gay too, and so that just sort of worked out. And I think he might have knew longer than I let him. I have no idea. 4th grade, whatever. I was held behind for like 2 years past whatever 4th grade is.
And what positive or negative changes have occurred in your life since?
Everything. Being a victim and survivor of police brutality, a distancing from some of the communities I'm within. There is like homophobia and a very machismo nature to some of them. The nature with the community, family is weird. So my sister came out as a lesbian, and that eventually was acceptable. But mom was very hesitant. Mom was openly hostile whenever I'd present film or dress film. So that became a big issue, and I don't really talk to mom anymore, and I don't imagine I will again. So there's that. And then in relationships, it sort of created a weird dynamics. It's difficult to find people that are understanding and knowledgeable, and work as well. Like, so right now I'm working at the Tom Hartman program, but in other workspaces, it's very difficult to express or to like, show up with nail polish on or makeup or anything else, just to be specifically.
So can you describe the most important lesson that you've learned since going through these processes?
Most important lesson I've learned. The most important lesson I learned is that resistance is possible. And that change is possible, that we can make a difference. There's this great quote from this old TV show, Angel, where one of the characters sort of figures it all out. And he says there's no big win, there's no grand finale, but if there's no greater meaning to the world, then all that matters then nothing matters. And if nothing matters, then all that matters is what we do. And so that's probably the greatest lesson, that we can create change that matters in this tiny areas we live in.
And then what's one thing you wish you could improve?
One thing, end capitalism in the United States. That's what I want to improve.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Big issue. And how rapidly do you think that attitudes have been changing towards the LGBTQ+ community?
They haven't. Things are not changing, and that takes us back to like homo nationalism, pinkwashing. It's only the illusion of change. So like Israel said it's the gay capital of the Middle East. Meanwhile, the IDF is bombing, murdering, shooting, testing out tear gas on LGBT Palestinians, which do exist. At the same time, Israel, the United States, the West is pushing out a Western-centric nature of what it means to be LGBTQ, all that on queer Palestinians, and like gender itself is, the concepts of gender are based on white supremacist logic. So like gender doesn't fit all these things, and things aren't changing. There's a narrow cis idea of homosexual love that's acceptable, and that's acceptable because it's capitalism trying to make money off these people. It's the war machine, it's the banks trying to make money off these people, and that's what's changing. So it looks like it in the media's. NBC was at the march today. NBC is notoriously awful as far as coverage of the war goes. They're just as bad as Fox News as far as pro-Western, pro-American propaganda, the demonization of queers, the demonization of Muslim and black people.
Is there something else you might want to share about your experiences or thoughts?
There's no right way to be queer, no matter what. If you're non-binary and you present masc, you're still non-binary. If you're, there's no one way to do it. There's no one way to be gay. There's no one way. These definitions, these constrictions are all, well, constrictions. They're all chains, and they need to be removed. And we need to figure out how to go forward from there.